Alpha Kappa Psi's Gold Distinguished Service Award recognizes unsurpassed loyalty and a lifetime of meritorious service in support of the fraternity. Since 1941, Alpha Kappa Psi has bestowed this recognition upon only a select number of individuals who have given of their time, talent, and treasure in pursuit of our Founding Fathers' ideals. Over 60 years after Brother Everett Lord received the first Gold Distinguished Service Award, only 46 alumni have received this honor, following a required minimum of 90% approval from the fraternity's board of directors. Brother Paul Brinker was initiated into the Eta chapter of Alpha Kappa Psi at the University of Cincinnati in 1984. Following his graduation in 1985, he served the fraternity in a variety of roles, including East Central Regional Director, District Director, and on the Board of Directors for both the fraternity and foundation. During Paul's tenure as a volunteer, he helped to lead and oversee many changes that are part of the fraternity today.
I met Paul in 1992, roughly. I was in Washington, D.C. doing a site inspection for a convention, and I met him and Leslie for lunch. Boy, what an experience that was. Paul and I have been friends ever since. On that day, that weekend that we spent together, I shared the vision of the future of Alpha Kappa Psi with Paul. Paul not only embraced it, but accepted a major leadership role in transforming the fraternity. Paul, first of all, embraced the concept of a new governance model. He then ran for the board and was elected. And Paul then worked very diligently on rewriting the Constitution, a complete overhaul of our finances, our educational programming, our membership, and our expansion. And Paul was very instrumental in contributing ideas and doing a lot of the groundwork to each and every one of that five-pronged area that I believe is responsible for Alpha Kappa Psi being what it is today.
For Brother Brinker, seeing the fraternity thrive was not only part of using his business background to ensure a well-run organization, it also represented an act of love that led him to his family in more than one sense of the word. At a fraternity event, Paul would meet Leslie Juergens, a fellow regional director representing a region not far from his own.
There's a debate between Paul and I about when we met. Paul claims we met at the Milwaukee convention after the grand banquet, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't remember meeting him there. I remember meeting him in an Indian adventure when we were getting ready to go out to dinner. I walked into a room and there was this guy in a gray suit and a gray fedora and one of the fraternity stoles. And that's the first time I really remember meeting him. Well, we both were on the board of directors. Both of us were RDs at the time, or regional directors. And so at first it was, we did a little social stuff, but then we were mostly talked on phone calls, conference calls, which were, pretty prevalent at that time. We really didn't get to know each other until we went to the Denver convention. And that's a whole nother story, because Paul will tell you that when I walked into the room, into the bar, he said there was a sign over my head, "Marry this girl." So our romance, I guess, started in the Denver convention. And so that was August, and by September, he and I were engaged and had our first real date. When Paul and I first got together, because I was a regional director and he actually moved to where I was in Virginia, he became a district director. And at that time, students would call the regional directors or the district director for stuff. So it was quite common that my phone would ring in the evening, in the middle of making dinner, which was always fun because Paul and I both had a thing, I'm cooking, you leave me alone. So we both had to learn how to take over each other's cooking. So when a student would call about something, one of us was on the phone talking with them, and it just became part of our life.
most ethical people I've ever met in my entire life. Paul's very honest. Paul has a love of this organization that is unmatched by most people that I know.
Paul is the voice that kicks off our fraternal song at any gathering. He is a wonderful voice that rises above and creates a wonderful harmony for our fraternal song.
Favorite fraternal memory has to be the Denver convention. Paul and I thought, or at least, or maybe I thought, nobody was really noticing what was going on with us. Well, apparently, we were really bad at hiding stuff, because at the grand banquet, we're sitting at the head table. There was 2 tiers, the officers and then all the regional directors were below. A whole bunch of people from my fraternity all came up to the table and started singing, "You've Lost That Loving Feeling." And it was hysterical. And then I found out from Paul, actually a little bit later, he had planned on proposing to me at the Denver convention.
Paul is the kind of guy, he's Alpha Kappa Psi through and through. He bleeds blue and gold, and he's always there. I have never, ever asked him to do something where he refused me, because he's just that kind of a brother. That's been serving Alpha Kappa Psi, like I said, since he's been regional director. But it's like he always does, you know? He's always doing something at every convention, and he's always, you know, helping us out. And if you ask him nicely, he'll do most anything for you, as long as he's helping out you and Alpha Kappa Psi.
If I were there, I'd give him a big hug and say, "Congratulations, big fella. This is an honor that is long overdue, and you richly deserve it. Congratulations."
Paul, congratulations. You are so deserving of this award, and thank you for serving as a mentor to me as how I should live my life as a brother.
I just want to wish you congratulations, and welcome to the club, and it's well deserved, sir.
Paul, I'm really proud of you, and you can understand why I'm doing this on tape, because if I had to stand in front of everybody, I'd lose it. I love you very much, and I really think you deserve this.
Great.
I love it. I'm sitting here on tape and I can't even do it.